Chapter 13 shocked. The classmates on the left and right looked at Lu Sheng with gloating and speculative eyes, and even Lu Qiming gave him a self-seeking look. Little transparent students like him and Lu Sheng are as likely to win the lottery if they are selected by the teacher to answer questions in class. I don't know what kind of unlucky Lu Sheng is today, to be selected as a training partner in the actual combat class. Lu Sheng quickly calmed down. If you are clicked, you will be clicked, and it's not like you haven't been clicked before. He stood up and walked towards the middle of the field. When Lu Sheng stood up, Sheng Jinghua froze for a moment. At that moment, he had an illusion, as if he saw a fierce tiger slowly getting up from the pile of sheep. The temperament naturally exuded from Lu Sheng made Sheng Jinghua almost think that what he saw was not an ordinary high school student, but a warrior who had experienced many battles walking towards him. Teacher. Lu Sheng walked up to Sheng Jinghua and greeted him calmly. Sheng Jinghua noticed the strong, streamlined and powerful muscle lines exposed under Lu Sheng's obviously short sleeves, and his eyes brightened. Why didn't I find out before that there is such a good seat in the class? Sheng Jinghua looked Lu Sheng up and down with a faint appreciation, and asked, "What's your name?" Lu Sheng. What was the score of the last blood test? Lu Sheng thought for a while and replied truthfully, 0.802. Is it only 0.8? It's a bit low. It doesn't look like it. Sheng Jinghua frowned. Could it be that I have lost my sight? Sheng Jinghua shook his head, did not continue to think deeply, and said, "You come to practice with Yang Yifei, and use the fighting skills I just taught. After the end, I will point out the shortcomings of your movements." Yes. Lu Sheng nodded, then walked to stand opposite Yang Yifei. With a relaxed expression, Yang Yifei nodded slightly at Lu Sheng, and reminded, "My blood value is already 1.22, and it might be a little heavy later, so be careful." Lu Sheng didn't feel anything, just nodded casually. There were low exclamations from the group of students below. Damn it. Yang Yifei's blood value is 1.22, and I haven't even reached 0.9. It's too strong. I'm afraid it can be ranked in the top 10 of the grade. As expected of Yang Yifei. Hearing these exclamation voices, Yang Yifei was obviously benefited. With a faint, confident and calm smile on his face, he said to Lu Sheng, "Are you ready?" "I'm coming." "Can?" Lu Sheng nodded. "I am coming." Yang Yifei let out a low cry, and he sprang out like a cheetah, rushing towards Lu Sheng quickly. Even Sheng Jinghua, who was watching from the sidelines, couldn't help but nodded slightly when he saw his performance. As for the students watching below, they were already prepared to be amazed. The little stars in the eyes of each girl also began to coalesce and take shape. Lu Qiming even turned his head slightly, looking at Lu Sheng with an expression of not being able to bear to look directly at him. Then, the next moment, boom, a figure flew out from the middle of the field, flew 5 or 6 meters away, and fell heavily to the ground. "Yang Yifei is so handsome." "Yang Yifei." A girl's adoring voice sounded in time, which seemed particularly abrupt. The girl was halfway through shouting when she suddenly realized something was wrong. All the people around kept quiet, and stared fixedly at the center of the field with an expression she couldn't understand at all. The girl turned her head to take a closer look, and was stunned for a moment. On the edge of the venue, the pale and embarrassed figure clutching his chest was the male god she admired, Yang Yifei. As for Lu Sheng, he was still standing in the middle of the field, and he didn't seem to have even moved a step. Quiet. The place fell into an eerie silence. Everyone stared at Lu Sheng in a daze, and Yang Yifei who fell to the ground with a pained expression, and couldn't believe their eyes. Lu Sheng, with just one move, his blood value exceeded 1.2, and Yang Yifei, a genius ranked in the top 10 in his grade, was sent flying? They wonder if they are dreaming. Even Sheng Jinghua was stunned. Then he realized something very quickly. I didn't look away. Hurry up, find 2 people to help Yang Yifei go to the infirmary. Sheng Jinghua gave orders quickly, and the others just woke up from a dream and acted quickly. It's just that looking at Lu Sheng's eyes again, it's like looking at a monster. Mr. Zhong, Lu Sheng tried to explain to Zhong Jinghua that it was not on purpose, that he did not want to use the martial arts he taught. But when Yang Yifei rushed over, his fighting instinct drove him to do so subconsciously. When he realized that he wanted to cooperate with the duel, Yang Yifei had already flown out. Who knew he couldn't help but fight? Stop talking, just follow me. With a wave of Zhong Jinghua's hand, he greeted Lu Sheng and walked out in a hurry, not caring whether the practical lesson was over or not. Lu Sheng could only follow obediently. After the two left, a burst of heated discussions erupted in the venue. Damn it! Is Lu Sheng on drugs? Why is he so violent? Even Yang Yifei can't beat him? That guy is Lu Sheng, right? The Lu Sheng we know? Yang Yifei's chi and blood is 1.22, but he couldn't even stop Lu Sheng at once, so how much is Lu Sheng's chi and blood worth? Hiss! Amidst the exclamations and discussions, Lu Qining opened his mouth wide and stared blankly at the direction Lu Sheng was going away. His mind is still in a daze. Chapter 14 Genius. Didn't you say that your last blood test score was 0.8? Does this look like 0.8? As soon as Zhong Jinghua brought Lu Sheng to the office, he stared at him fiercely. Lu Sheng was a little helpless, and said, Mr. Zhong, you also said that what you asked about was the result of the last test. Zhong Jinghua was at a loss for words for a moment, thought for a while and said, I'll give you another test now. Lu Sheng nodded. After a while, the test results came out. Zhong Jinghua sat down on the chair, and fixedly looked at Lu Sheng with a complex look that was hard to describe in words. It's a kind of shock with joy, joy with surprise, surprise with doubt. Doubt about yourself, doubt about facts. Complex eyes. When was the last time you were tested? Zhong Jinghua took a deep breath, tried to calm himself down, and asked Lu Sheng. Lu Sheng thought for a while and replied, the last monthly exam took about less than a month. If it is counted as a private test, it should have been a week ago. Less than a month ago. Zhong Jinghua didn't know what to say. He glanced at the test results again. Blood value, 1.532. Combat power index, 192. 2 jaw-dropping statistics. It has exceeded the evaluation standard of a first-level warrior. Although the testing equipment in the school is not as accurate as that of the woman, the fluctuation will not be too large, and the actual results are basically close to each other. That is, the student named Lu Sheng standing in front of him now can already be said to be an official first-level warrior. He is only less than 18 years old this year, and there are more than 200 days before the college entrance examination. In their Baya No. 3 middle school, in the actual combat class he led by Zhong Jinghua, there was a real first-level martial artist who was less than 18 years old. Zhong Jinghua still needs to digest this result carefully. Although it is said that a first-level martial artist who is less than 18 years old is not that great in Long Country or Baya City. However, among them Baya San, that is definitely the top genius, Du Miao Miao. At least none of the college entrance examination freshmen of Baya No. 3 middle school and senior 3 can reach this height, and there are almost none. Moreover, Zhong Jinghua saw more than this. What he really valued was the combat effectiveness index of the student named Lu Sheng in front of him, as well as his performance in the actual combat class. The combat power of 192 exceeds the blood value standard by more than 40. You know, before becoming an official first level, oh no, it should be a third level warrior. The combat power index of a warrior basically follows the blood value. Because the blood value represents speed and strength. How much chi and blood you have will naturally be able to play as much destructive power. There is a threshold for a warrior from level 3 to level 4, and many people will stay at this stage, exercising their muscles and bones. At this time, the role of martial arts will really begin to manifest, and the combat effectiveness of warriors will also have a relatively large leap. Before that, skills might bring about various gaps in actual combat, but the increase in combat power was very small. Just like Zhong Jinghua himself, a second-level warrior. The chi and blood value is 15, and the combat power is only more than 1,500, which exceeds the standard of qi and blood value by dozens of points. Looking back on it like this, Liu Sheng, who was able to pull the combat power index to more than 40 points above the standard of blood value at the first level of martial artist. What a monster! In the actual combat class, others didn't see Liu Sheng's move to fly Yangifei, but he saw it clearly. Even he was a little amazed at the skill displayed in Liu Sheng's punch. This is definitely a fighting martial arts genius. At this time, Zhong Jinghua had an extremely strong premonition in his heart. They buy a number 3 middle school, this time. Maybe you really found a treasure. Liu Sheng watched Zhong Jinghua's eyes flickering quietly, probably thinking about something quickly. After being a little nervous at the beginning, Liu Sheng has completely calmed down now. Although the exposure of his strength this time caught him off guard, but think about it carefully. This happened to be a good opportunity. It happened to take this opportunity to apply for a scholarship to the school. With his current strength, there was no reason why he would not be able to pass. This test also gave Liu Sheng a new understanding of his own strength. He has almost reached the evaluation standard of a first-level warrior, and it is time to participate in the formal assessment of a first-level warrior. Now Liu Sheng is really short of money. At this time, Zhong Jinghua also sorted out his mood. With your current grades, you can apply to enter the school's top class. Zhong Jinghua also didn't ask why Liu Sheng's qi and blood nearly doubled in a month. Nothing more than a few. He has been hiding his strength before. The body suddenly enters a period of rapid development, and the talent hidden before is gradually developed. These two situations have happened to other students, and there is no need to delve into it. If the pursuit is tight, it may also arouse students' resentment. Teacher, I think it's good to stay in the current class, and there is no need to change classes. Liu Sheng replied. Zhong Jinghua nodded with a complicated expression. He also didn't think it was necessary. The cultivation of qi and blood value depends entirely on the students themselves, and what the school teachers can teach is nothing more than some practical skills. At this point, Liu Sheng has even surpassed many teachers. Then what request do you have? If you think the school can help you and provide you with convenience, you can put it forward now. Zhong Jinghua asked. Liu Sheng was waiting for this opportunity. I want to apply for the school's martial arts scholarship, and I hope to have more free time to go to school. Liu Sheng brought up two thoughts in his mind at the same time, and the second one came to him on the spur of the moment. Liu Sheng has always felt that his stay at school is more of a waste of time. If he can spend more time practicing body training and exploring dreams every day, his strength may grow faster.